and welcome to Stitching Ain't Easy. My name is Ashley. Thank y'all so very much for joining me today. If you guys can hear me, I thought it would be easier to do this standing up because the blanket is getting very big. Anywho, all right. So this is video, I think, number 5 of our spring flowers crochet along that several of my friends and myself are all involved in. I will put their photos at the end of this. Thank you guys so much for joining. I have a couple of people that have mentioned starting now. Go for it. There's no reason to not to. You know what I mean? You might as well. Okay, so the background is pretty bleak, pretty sad. I had a video up the other day showing how I kind of dismantled everything, and then the very next video I'm like, no more yarn hauls, no more whatever. The very next video was a Hobby Lobby yarn haul and the rainbow was back, so I figure everyone probably knew that those were different days. But anywho, yeah, so this is what I have. This whole thing that used to be so full of yarn is empty, and then these are a few WiPs that I'm keeping, and then Pure Romance stuff, so that way I can still do that during the move and during the craziness. So my yarn is put away. This is what I need to get finished before I can move on to another project. Hence the Mayflowers, the spring flowers blanket. So, all right. I told you I was going to make videos every 5 days. Took a little break there. Didn't make one on the 20th. Figured that was probably all right with some of you. I hope. I don't know. Today's the 26th. I meant to make a video yesterday and I didn't even do that. Yesterday was a crazy day. I'll make a video here in a minute talking about all of that because I actually went to Hobby Lobby. I know I got 2 skeins of yarn for washcloths, which I already have a washcloth bag. I set my priorities right, but I got a couple of things for the new kitchen. They're cool. All right, so anyway, I'll show you guys that in just a second. But yes, so I skipped the 20th, technically skipped the 25th. So I'm going to show you guys my blanket, and then we have a bit of a splaining to do as far as the pattern. I guess my beautiful friend Lisa pointed something out to me. So, all right. Here is our blanket. Maybe if I can find the top, that would be good. Just watching me fiddle with the blanket. Such an entertaining time. I know. So glad y'all come back. Okay, so here we go. And it would be easier just to stand up. So this is the first bit, right? Second week, not really week, second 5 days. 10th day. All right, this is the third one. I still need to make this flower, sew this one on, but I clipped it on there and I feel like that counts for something. I don't know. So there's that one. And then these are the ones that you haven't seen. Still need to make a flower for this one. But then there's this one, which I like a whole lot. It's very spring and festive. And of course, my other flowers kind of get in the way. Do you mind? You know what I mean? Rude. Okay, so this is the next one. I like the purple and the pink. It just pops. It's all pretty and bright. Fluff it up a little bit. So there we go. There's that one. I really like the next one. I really like it a lot. I think it's so pretty. And then there's this one, which I also really like a lot, but I haven't stitched the flower on yet, but I like the colors. So it'll just be that stitched onto there. It's another kind of rose looking one. And this is the one that I needed. Sweet Deb from, is it One More WiP? I think that's it. And I will link her below just because she's so cute. I mentioned the other day in my Joann video that I went in there for a pink yarn and I couldn't spend $4 on something I'd spent $1 on before. So I couldn't do it. And so I needed the pink yarn. And she was like, which one is it? I probably have it in my stash. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. So I just worked with what I had and I used this one. So it's not quite the color, but it's pretty dang close. And so it's all right. So there's that one. And then, let's see. Oh gosh, now it's stuck on my arm. So then the next row is this one also, just secret time. I thought this would be a lot of fun if I made several of them and made it into like a valance curtain across the kitchen. Just saying. All right. Isn't that beautiful? Make like a good backing so that it doesn't get faded in the sun. I don't know. All right. That doesn't fade in the sun, I suppose. Anywho, all right. There's that one, which I really liked. I think they're all just so fun. This one, which doesn't have a flower. This one, which doesn't have a flower. And this one, which doesn't have a flower. So yes, I am not done. I have 3, 4, 5 flowers to make, and then the bottom squares. So like I said, today's the 26th. I really wanted to have this finished by the end of May, my past ambitious self. So, I have 2 more squares made already for down here. And I think I'm just gonna like add the flowers and the border and all that stuff and hopefully just come back on the 30th at least with the squares finished. And see how it goes from there. I may come back to you all in a crochet rambling, show the whole thing finished. I don't know. I'm going to try really hard to finish it though. But the thing with the square, beautiful Lisa figured out. So like I said, I was on all the way on the next to last row. And she informed me that there are only 29 squares in the pattern and we need 30. And I was like, well, I thought it was kind of weird that there was just one, but I never really it never clicked. I don't know, because it's like, you know, they're paired 2 together and then all of a sudden there's 1 square. Anyway, never really thought that out. She doesn't say in her pattern what she does is her border. We thought like we could find anyway. It kind of looks like a shell, but I don't know. So anyway, okay, this square right here, which as far as the blanket goes is the 10th square. If you're just looking at the photo, I don't remember which one it is, but I can link it down below. But it's blue and purple. I mean, it's pretty much the same colors. She makes this square again on the very last row at the bottom. It's, I think, like the 3rd square. Well, yes, it's the 3rd square because I made the first. Anyway. She makes this again. But the background is yellow and the flower is like yellow and oranges. But on the pattern for this one, so if I remember, I will link this very specific square below. On the pattern for this one, at the bottom of the pattern, she has the colors that she used so that you can make the 30th square. So my beautiful friend Lisa figured that out because I was kind of in panic mode. I'm like, I don't know. And I remember when I was making this one, I saw that at the bottom, but I was like, okay, you know, I still want to make it blue and pretty. And then turns out you make this one twice. And it's kind of wild too, because while on the search for what do we do for the border, beautiful Lisa found a blog that she has. This lady, Lisa, it's her name, I'm pretty sure. That's what I could find anyway. I've never talked to her. She makes beautiful patterns. So I will link all of her stuff below. But yeah, during all of that, okay, so like the creator's name's Lisa. My friend's name is also Lisa. It got real confusing there for just a second, I suppose, probably for some of you. My beautiful friend Lisa, who spoils me rotten and is absolutely precious, found a blog that the other Lisa, the creator of the blanket, made. And she talks about how she's going to put an ebook out. And there are like 46 squares or something. So I don't know, because we tried to find the other squares, and I don't know. So maybe at some point she'll come back with some more squares. We're not really sure. We were kind of confused. Lisa mentioned like reaching out to the lady and asking and I haven't done that, so I don't know. But yes, and like I said, same thing kind of for the border. So I guess, because it doesn't really say what border to use, it's just kind of like, it just shows the photo, which is fine. You know, you can pretty much look at the photo and kind of decipher what's going on in the pattern. But so I'm gonna say like free for all it. It's, you know, this is the first blanket that I've tried to kind of like look at someone's pattern and coloring and stuff and make that as close to the pattern as I can. And I don't know how to do a couple things. Like I said, I didn't know about the 30 square, so I'm like, forget it, I'm just gonna stop it here. And then she figured that out, so I was like, okay, then I'll go ahead and make the rest of them, because there's some really cute ones on the bottom. And then, like I said, for the border, so I'm just gonna tell you guys to do you, I guess, whatever you decide. Maybe some of you can look at it and kind of figure out what it is. I don't know. So yeah, because I didn't stitch it together like she stitched it together either. So I figure at this point, if I don't do the border that way, then, you know, it's fine. So, but this is it. And I love it. It's so fun. It just gets more and more fun as it goes. And Miss B is, as I mentioned, claimed it already. And so I need to sew that one in. That one just does not look like a fun time at all to sew in. And also I was asked, by my beautiful friend Lisa, like about stitching and all of those things. I am stitching, I mean, I'll just tell y'all, like, we talk, but anyway, I am stitching them in, like sewing them in. I've had a few people that have just kind of like barely stitched them in, like if whatever, you know, as much as they'll stay, can use this for decoration. I've had a few people that have hot glued them on. So whatever y'all want to do, so because it's going to Miss B and I know it's going to be very well loved, I've been stitching them in just because, even though I am not a fan of sewing, I've been doing that. But I think this row, like these four and then this one, they might be my favorite. They just like, they get better every week or every few days. I don't know. Like I said, I really like the blue, the baby blue daisy, because those are two of my favorite things. But, and this one is like buttercups. They're so cool. They look so very neat. They're 3 flowers and then stems. But I haven't done it. So I don't know. We'll get there. Anyway, I will put everyone's photos at the end of this. Thank you guys so very much for sending them in. Thank you for your patience in my whole video that I skipped. I skipped a whole entire video there. So thanks for that. I appreciate you guys sticking it out with me on that one. So yeah, after this, I am going to show you guys like my small Hobby Lobby goodies and do a bit of a rambling. So I have another channel shout out that I need to do. But yes, I will link Deb down below because that was so sweet of her to like, which color is it? I'll send it to you. So thank you so much. That was beyond precious. Even though it is May and it is almost June, it is like 60 degrees and raining outside. So I don't know what is happening, hence the hoodie, which I wear hoodies all the time, but everyone else in this house is wearing hoodies, so that should say something. We're all real over the rain. It's just a mucky, nasty mess out there and muddy puddles everywhere, as Peppa Pig would say. So anyway, I'm ready for this right here. So it's fun to make it. I'll say that. All right. So I thank you guys so very much for watching. Thank you for your patience once again. I appreciate you all. I know that you all know life happens, but once again, I feel like I should just tell you, especially you who send your photos in, my apologies. Small curtsy. All right. So I thank you guys so very much for watching. Please stay safe. Have a wonderfully, wonderfully blessed day. I keep switching those up for some reason. I don't know. I will talk to you guys very soon.